Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for this week's video. We are doing a Q&A. Have not done a Q&A in like 10 months. Let's catch up. Hello, how are we? I'm very excited to film this one for y'all. As I always do, I post a little question poll on my Instagram story or whatever. I'll put my Instagram here if you want to follow me over there. That's where if I'm doing anything a little bit more interactive with y'all, I'll post on Instagram because it's just a bit easier over there. As always, you sent the best questions. I've just been like mentally on my bed reading through them all, being like, I want to answer this one, but I know I'm gonna need like 20 minutes. And my goal here, as you guys know, with adding 2 videos per week, I'm trying to shorten them just a little. Even like my analytics on YouTube, girl, you're watching 10 minutes and then you zip. And I know not all of you, oh my god, I know that. And I'm very much like, I will watch a 50-minute YouTube video. I will watch a 2-hour YouTube video. Like, I'm a very long form content consumer and producer, I guess. I just like it way better. I'm such a chatty person, so it's hard for me to condense it all down, but that's the goal. So I've screenshotted like 10, 12 questions and we'll do my best. And then obviously, like I mentioned in my last video, I'm really going to try to do a Q&A all about how I got into styling, how I got started, what my advice is, what do I recommend, what do I not recommend, like what's my personal experience on, because I can really only speak for my own, and then obviously my friends in my community that I chat to all the time and try to, I use them as my network every single day, asking for advice and connecting with people, and people are texting me for connect here or an assist here if they're doing a show and they're whatever. Like, it's a constant flow of communication and like giving and taking of advice and just trying to help each other. So I will kind of put everything that I can compile and put it out into a video. I think I'll obviously post another poll on my Instagram asking for like styling and fashion industry specific questions, so I can just like spend a whole day answering and compiling all that for you guys. And I think that'll definitely be like a longer video. There's no way that's gonna be 20 minutes. Good heavens, no way. Again, like I said in my last video, I am not a pro with styling. I have been doing it for a while now, but in terms of like doing it for a career and making money and like feeling confident enough in my skills as a stylist, like it's still taking me every day to feel like I'm like there and getting there. We're growing and it's a struggle, but it's great. It's styling specifically is a very tricky industry for money in particular, is what I found, and it's what I've been told since 2019. And yeah, specifically the styling I want to do in terms of like editorial, high fashion, runway, that world, bit tricky. Small brands in New York, forget it. That's what I love, obviously. So I'll get into the video. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about it because every time I post a Q&A, I get a lot of questions about it, but I obviously want to balance that with like catch up stuff and just like fun questions or questions about other things in life that aren't styling, but that are about relationships or friendships or things in New York or just like things that we might not talk about otherwise. So I don't know. The first question, because I got it a couple times, was what's my updated curly hair routine? And I'm having a curly hair summer. Like, I feel like I'm really gonna wear my hair curly majority of the summer because it's just the easiest that way, and there's no point of me straightening my hair because I'm just gonna leave the house and it's gonna blow up. Right now I've got it slick because I was in Connecticut this weekend and just got back and the curls were looking scary, so we slicked them up. I will take you to my bathroom and show you my products and show you my routine, although I did film it in a video somewhat recently, so I'll put that video here and in the description as well. Curl routine, products only. I'm not gonna do it. We're slicked up right now. We're slicked up. In the shower, I don't particularly use curly hair products. I use like Olaplex. Like, I use more color treated hair products versus like curly hair products because my hair is so color treated and I have blonde, so I'm using like purple shampoo. Most of my like curl products happen like after my shower, so once I get out, I obviously like brush it out very, very lightly. I have a wet brush and I also use a comb, and I kind of like dry it as I go, like scrunching, kind of like doing this with like a towel. I'll either like plop it or just kind of let it air dry a little bit more before I go in with any sort of like mousse or curl cream, just because I don't like doing it when it's like soaking wet. But I use the Tresemme Flawless Curl Mousse, and I use this, use a lot of it on both sides, really scrunch it in there, bring it up to the roots. Don't forget that. World's dinkiest. I think this hair dryer was 15 bucks, and then this attachment, the diffuser, my mom gave it to me because she had an extra one. She has really curly hair as well, my mother does. She shared this with me and it changed my life. Diffusing has changed my curls for the better. In addition to putting my mousse, I also use heat protectant. Don't forget your heat protectant. Even when you're diffusing anything, using any sort of heat on your hair, just have the Tresemme Keratin Smooth heat protectant, because this is the heat protectant that I've used in the past. But I would love if there's like a specific curly hair heat protectant. Sure, I would love that. Could definitely look into it. It's not like this heat protectant is like blowing my mind in any way. It's just what I have. I then diffuse my hair on each side, always kind of like holding the hair with my other hand, and then my hand with the diffuser. Scrunch and kind of like go up with it, so then it's like bringing the curls kind of up rather than just like blowing them down. Just kind of like floofing the curls up. I've definitely done this in a video. I know I have, so I'll link it for sure. Then after I've diffused it, I like to take this hair clip along my roots, go like out like this much, and clip my roots, and it just stays here when I do my makeup, and that just like helps my roots. It's like my own form of just like volumizing my roots, gives it the extra kind of like volume and kind of picks up the curls so that they kind of creates more shape, you know. So just use my clip. And then what's huge for me in humidity in my curls and like day 2, day 3, day 4 curls is a spray bottle. My mom also taught me the importance of a spray bottle. It's just water in this, and I also have a mini one for my travel. I'm out of my hair oil that I used to use. It was just like a Moroccan hair oil. This stuff, I feel like I've heard mixed reviews from like this brand in its entirety, but this is just the Argan Oil Morocco Weightless Dry Oil Mist, and I'll use this to just add moisture back into my hair when it's looking really dry and frazzled. And then what I do, because I have, you guys can see these thick blonde chunks. Blonde, obviously when you put bleach on your hair, it really ruins the hair, and for me it just kind of like kills the curl pattern, kills any sort of like bounce and brightness and anything with the shape of my hair. Since I added the blonde in my hair, this is not like my ideal situation for my hair, because ideally I would use no heat on it, not even a diffuser. Really want to try the curl technique where you use gel and you like scrunch your curls with gel. I would love to try that. But to add extra curl to the front of my hair, the front of my hair is the blonde pieces, so it really does make or break the curl. I do have this skinny mini curler. I think it was a 1/4 inch barrel. I forget exactly, but I'll link this one in the description. I think it was like $30, and it just helps me get those like perfect little curly cues with the blonde, because the blonde does not curl. It looks quite ratty actually, and I hate the way it looks. So I do feel like a fake curly hair girly using the curl iron on my curls, but it really does need it, unfortunately, with the way my hair is with the blonde. It's very sad to try to avoid using the curly iron as much as I can. That's me, that's my curl routine. Thank you for asking. Okay, back to the Q&A. That was the curly hair routine. I got a few questions of like, what am I listening to right now? Song of the summer. It's gonna be Charlie XCX and Chapel Roan. Like I'm feeling basic for that, or maybe I'm not basic. Maybe that's just like what my Instagram feed is, what my TikTok feed is, what my friends are talking about, what everybody's talking about in my circle. Chapel Roan and Charlie XCX. So it's a brat summer, and we know that. My favorite song, I mean, somewhat recently, I'm filming this, it's right after the Girl So Confusing version with Lorde came out. Of course, the first time I heard it and listened to the lyrics, I definitely got emotional. That is like so my MO. That kind of shit makes me like so emotional. For them to be so vulnerable and open and share that in a song, and I just love them both so much as artists, and so it was just really cool to hear that. And it's such a good song too, and I love that song right now. I feel like the song of the summer, like just in general, it has to be like 360 by Charlie XCX. Like, sorry, I'm hearing it everywhere. It's just like with the baddies, it's just like the song of the summer. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but I do really like Guess. It's one of my favorites. That's on the Brat, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not. I think Guess should have been on the OG. Sorry, it's one of my favorite songs like ever. She's so good. Charlie is so good. I can't get over it. Von Dutch is obviously so iconic. I think that's another iconic like song of the summer, just because it's like, that's the it girl song of the summer. Like, what do you mean? Justice for Apple, I do agree. And then Everything Is Romantic is so iconic. I love it. She's so British in that one. I love that song. Chapel Roan, I would say Femininomenon, for that being the first song on the album, is such a good song in terms of like, I listen to that song and I'm like blown away at that being like an intro to an album. Like, it's the perfect first song, and I'm obsessed with it, and I listen to it if I have headphones in and used to be walking around New York. That's what I'm listening to. That's what I'm listening to. I don't listen to music around the city a ton, just because I like to be aware of my surroundings. And oftentimes I'm just like I kind of forget to even put in my headphones just because I'm marching. But if I do, that's always at least the first song that I play when I leave, because I walk to that beat. Like that is like my walking song. So Feminine Phenomenon is kind of my song of the summer. Like for me personally, it's kind of defined this time in my life just because I listen to it every single day when I walk outside and it's hot and it's summer 2024. So that's kind of my song of the summer. After Midnight, kind of slept on. I love that one. Naked in Manhattan's a fun one. I need to hear that out for the love of God. No, they're also good. They're also good, and I could keep going on and on, but those are my songs of the summer, plural. I know you only asked for one. I'm sorry. Quickly, because I only got like one question about school, and I feel like I talked more in my like past Q&As about like my school experience, my education, if it's helped with what I'm doing now or not. I was asked what majors did you do in college and are they helpful in my styling career and my career in general. I went to Fordham Lincoln Center and I studied communications and fashion studies. And I would say I have very complex feelings towards that school and how it's like informed me specifically in my career. I think it taught me a lot about life. I think school in general, I learned so much about people and relationships and about myself and how I work in like a team setting and what I'm kind of like capable of in terms of like outside school, starting your own, running a fashion magazine, like being a fashion director, like just I gained so much more confidence. I feel like I've always been such a team player, and I'll step up and be a leader if you need me to be, but like I won't ever be the first person to suggest that, and I'll let somebody, if they want to lead, they'll lead. But like if nobody wants to and everybody's kind of shy, I'll step up if we need. But like I've never like been that person to like step in a room in an environment and like just ooze confidence in a way that it almost feels like I'm so meant to be here and like this is what I do. I've always kind of like been a little bit more subdued. So I think school gave me the confidence and put me in the rooms and the situations where I could gain confidence kind of like speaking up for certain things versus like things I would normally kind of like sit on for like school projects. Also like working with professors that were kind of shitty and kind of treated you like you weren't anything. And I don't know, I had some professors that weren't the most nurturing. Like there was just some weird culture. What I wanted to do with fashion and in the industry was like not necessarily like encourage people and professors. They really admire people pursuing law or people pursuing business, and like the Gabelli students were like very much like cared for, but I feel like everybody else not really. And like expressing to everybody, coming in like so wide-eyed, so excited to be like, I'm here to do fashion in New York City, and like I'm getting a liberal arts education still and I'm not in fashion school, but like I want to be here and learn XYZ in addition to getting my fashion education and whatever. It just felt like that was the right thing to do for me rather than going to an FIT or Parsons or etc. I did pre-college programs there, but I didn't love the schools, whereas Fordham, I really loved the campus. They loved what they pitched to me would be my experience, but of course it wasn't. The fashion studies program was super underdeveloped and there weren't fashion professors. There were professors that taught other courses and would teach fashion courses if they were able. So it very much was not this kind of like nurturing environment. I definitely had to like, my battery did die. So we're back. Sorry if the angle changed. I was going on a long spiel. Basically, honestly, I think there is a huge benefit to going to school and learning something in specific and dedicating those years to it and then being able to do it and do it well. But I also do think a big part of this industry is very learnable. It's very teachable. A lot of it you can kind of grasp hands-on. It's just a matter of like, are you willing to be there? Are you a hard worker? Are you passionate? Are you able to like anticipate the next thing? Like, are you a quick learner? Are you this? Are you that? Or are you dedicated? Do you want to be there? And like, yeah, do you care? Is all. And are you there kind of for the right reasons? Obviously people who aren't still thrive, but for me that's kind of been like the most important thing, is just being passionate and dedicated to it. I know people pivot careers all the time. I know a lot of people don't have the parental support, financial support, whatever it might be, that I was so fortunate to have to be able to go to college for what I wanted to do. But I know a lot of people don't have that, or maybe realize later in life that this is something that they want to do, or a pivot that they want to make. And so I genuinely think like obviously school and classes, even if it's not like a 4-year program, like you can always go back to school and learn XYZ, or you can always take like a night class or like a month-long program, or like YouTube, there's a bunch of like videos on things. Like I'm not just speaking on like fashion in the industry, but just there are so many other avenues other than traditional college to obtain the information and the education that you desire or that you might be feeling insecure about, to be able to like get you to the place that you want to be, or like make you feel confident. Obviously the traditional route of going to college isn't for everybody. It might not be for like, you know, their person or how they learn or how they think, but also like financially it's just not realistic for so many people. And so I don't ever want people to think that like they're not qualified to be in an industry just because they didn't study it, or that they're lesser than. Like I definitely felt insecure going into like the job market on occasion, competing for like the same jobs with people that went to fashion schools, etc. But obviously there are things coming from your background that other people don't have. You're bringing like a different skill set, a different experience, a different thought process, a different outlook to every job and to every person and team that you interact with or interview for or get. So you just have to, like, at the end of the day, try your best to know that like what you're bringing to the table is enough. It might not be what somebody needs or what they want in a particular, you know, time, as long as when you realize it is something you want to do, you put whatever you can into it. I don't believe you necessarily like need to go to college to learn the things that I necessarily like know now, or to work the jobs that I'm working. If styling is something that you want to do, I have like a very like specific experience within the industry, so there's a lot of different avenues that you can go down. So it doesn't also always have to be this way, in the way that I'm speaking about it, or like the way that I'll go into in my video where I explain kind of like how I got into all of this. But I think school helped me. I think the most rewarding thing that I learned was maybe not in class, but it was like having to be forced to go get my opportunities. Unfortunately, I was not very like nurtured within school and within my program and my advisors or whatever. Like I don't think they really thought my career was something to take very seriously, which was fine, but I dealt with some like shitty people for sure. And yeah, it like sucked not really having professors that like believed in me, or like talk about like your favorite designer, fashion history and art history, and talk about like clothing and what inspires you and like how you can express yourself through clothes. Like a lot of my professors were like, we're not here to talk about that. If you're here to talk about that, leave the classroom right now. Like very shading girls who like love fashion. I think there is something to say about like this whole like mystified, glorified, romanticized view of fashion and the industry, and like girls who want to come and sit down and learn and like think it's just all this like glitz and glamour. There's something to say for like, no honey, it's not. And you need to like learn the absolute evils that go on in this industry for sure. And like I really got that education of just, you know, capitalism, commodity fetishism, exploitation, everything going on through like manufacturing, production. We learned a lot about sustainability, establishing consumer ethics, everything like that. So that was absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful for that education, that experience. But I think a lot of it had such a negative connotation surrounding the industry as a whole, which again, I'm grateful to have that outlook, because I know I'll never take it for granted, and I do want to be part of the generation that makes the industry better. And it's people like Jasmine, who I am obsessed with, and Sustainable Baddie, and people like that use like their platforms and their voice to help promote and even teach about sustainability. Like I think it can be intimidating to even get into it, to even express like, I don't even know how to start thrifting, or like I don't know how to figure out if brands are sustainable or aren't, or like to even think that you could have like a voice in the industry, because it's all the fashion girlies and all the TikTok and all the discussion about trends and everything. Like I get that it can feel kind of overwhelming, but I feel like Jasmine does such a good job at making it very consumable, and it's not this sort of like, I'm better than you because I've thrifted for this long and I have this outlook about fashion, and like I look down on you because you shop XYZ. A lot of people can't afford to shop a fully sustainable. People just have like either a misunderstanding or a kind of warped outlook on what it means to be either sustainable or thrift shopping. Like I feel like people have negative perceptions of what that is. Here I go. The question was, what was my major? Okay, and now we've gone down this whole train. I'm glad I mentioned Sustainable Baddie though, because they're doing some really amazing stuff, and I read all their articles, and I have their post notifications on too for when they're going like lobbying days. Like I want to go to with Jasmine so bad, so I have her post notifications on, and she's so kindly like looped me in and DM'd me about like their next days and stuff. I wasn't able to go to the last one, but she's doing some really amazing stuff, and I'm so proud of her. She's just like one person among the many people in the industry that are educating and doing it in such a considerate way, no matter where you stand within the industry and your education background with it all. She's a great resource. If I didn't get the education that I wanted necessarily as a fashion student, I would have loved to have a fashion design class and a textile class and learn about the history of some iconic designers and fashion in general, silhouettes and textiles and how they coincide with history. Clothing is just jam-packed with so much power and significance and connotation and narrative, and it's really, really cool to be able to like know these things and to be like a historian of clothing, and people who are vintage curators and have such a huge eye for who the creative director was, at what house, at what year did that walk, you know, and this was going on when this was happening, and that was the year that blah 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 was president, and that this happened, like putting it all into its context.
You exist in the context
that it originally like belonged, kind of helps inform your understanding of seeing things now. It is so much information to know and learn, and it is so interesting, but it is also like, it's overwhelming, and I want to be able to like whip that out and be that girl. That this was, oh, like this was Stella McCartney for Chloe in 1990. Like just be that person, and like to have that collection is incredible. And like meeting people who are so quick with that is the most impressive thing. People like Real Life is Liv, like Liv is so amazing and so knowledgeable about it all. Allison at Allison's Archive is so incredible. All the vintage sellers that I'm friends with and talk to and see every year at all the vintage shows that I go to, really like respect them, and also think of that time and those conversations that I have with them like very fondly, and I look forward to that so much, having more and more conversations. I really want to learn from those people, and just the whole narrative of their work and their job of curating and selling, and also like taking care of the garments and knowing all the stories and keeping that history alive. It's so important, but it's not necessarily thought of in that way, like just as a society. And also then thinking about the prices that they're selling them at, the narrative around that, and people being like, oh, it's so expensive. It's just, you gotta have respect for the art of it all behind it. And vintage designer is not the only secondhand shopping, okay? So like, it's just one of those. Going back to the question, were my major or minor helpful in informing my styling career? I can't say no, because it all led me to where I am today. I don't think they were as helpful as I anticipated, but that's fine. I think every class that I took at Fordham, even if it was theology, philosophy, like all those classes and all that kind of critical thinking, I loved all those courses and learning about that so much. And I think all of that informs who you are and the choices that you make and the things that you maybe reference in your art, and how you work with people in the future, and who you meet in those classes, and how you could work together in the future. And it's a lot of that. Like in New York, it's such a small world here, and so the people that I went to school with, like I work with them now and I see what they're doing, and like it's super incredible. Like people, one day you're students, and the next thing you know, like people are running businesses, or they're, you know, the CEOs of XYZ, or they're whatever, and it's like, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. School definitely helped me. Like no matter where you go, you're gonna find overlap, and like little magical things are gonna happen out in the relationships that you have and nurture, and like the people that you choose to support, etc. Like it's super cool to see them win and know that you've been along for the ride and that you can learn from them. School helped me with my career for sure, but I think indirectly a bit, not as in the traditional way that you would think, but that's okay. I definitely think abroad was where I peaked as like a fashion student, though I was sent home because the pandemic hit. But being a fashion student at an atelier in France, I went to Paris College of Art, and it was absolutely incredible. If I have one tip for college, if you are able, I know it is tricky, but to study abroad if you can, I would 100% do it. Oh, this leads directly right into my next question. Where would you move in Europe if you could? Honestly, after going to Copenhagen, bro, I would literally move to Copenhagen. Like, oh my God, what an incredible place. I loved Copenhagen, and I've always said Paris. I've always said Paris. I would live in Paris in a heartbeat, just as long as I'm better at French and grinding on my French, because there's no way I'm living in a city where I can't speak the language. So that would be my only criteria, and I'm still trying to work at it. My Duolingo, bruh, I'm grinding. And I WhatsApp my French mom. Fave summer cocktail and fave place to sip it at. And then my friend Tyler also said drink of the summer, do tell. Guys, I don't think it's changed. Hugo Spritz Saint Germain Spritz has been my drink of the summer for like the past 3 summers now. I'm obsessed with it. It's the most refreshing, delicious drink. Saint Germain, if you're not familiar, believe it's elderflower liqueur, and a Saint Germain or like a Hugo Spritz is just club soda or bubble water, Prosecco, lime or lemon, whatever citrus fruit you want, mint, and Saint Germain. It is so delicious, so refreshing. My gran and my mom made them for me. It was like one of the first cocktails that I think I've ever had, because they just sip on it and they're like, oh, I love it. And I was like, can you make me a little one? You know, we were literally just talking about the drink of the summer. Like, how has my camera died twice? Like, me being like, this is gonna be a shorter video. Whoa, okay. We're speeding it up. Drink of the summer, Saint Germain Spritz or Hugo Spritz, whatever you wanna call it. Really delicious. If you're not into like Aperol Spritz, you think they're too bitter, give it a try. So good. So easy to make at home too. This was an easy one. If you could bring back any fashion icon from the dead for one day, who would it be and what would y'all do and why? It would have to be Vivienne Westwood. She was like, when she passed away, like that was my one person that I was like really hoping to meet in my fashion career. But obviously she was getting older. I was just hoping she'd hang on for like another 10 so I could get my way there. I don't know in what world I'd be able to meet her, but that was my absolute dream. I would have loved. What we would do, I feel like my dream would literally just to like go over to her house if she'd have me, have tea, go through her closet, talk about what she likes to do, her favorite things. I just wanted to like know about her, everything about her. So talk about anything. Not just, you know, her clothes and her brand and everything. I want to pick her brain, you know. So that would have been really cool. So just have tea. What is my bury me in this outfit? Now it is that goddamn polka dot petticoat. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm so excited to wear it. I held it in my last video, but I'll put a video of me holding it here. I'm so obsessed with it. Maybe that with like my cone bra or my tassel bra, or yeah, maybe I don't have the top. Maybe I don't have my bury me in this top yet, but that skirt for sure. Somebody asked, are me and Kieran moving into a new place or my place? Are we gonna see any moving vlogs? He is moving into my place. We already have like some things, like as he's just coming over, he's like leaving some stuff here. Where my roommate, if you guys were here for when I lived with Trish, one of my best friends, where she slept and lived, like we called it like Trish's boutique, because it is kind of a confined area. God bless her, she's the absolute best. That's gonna be Kieran's boutique now. So I have to scoot. I mean, now that I've been styling freelance and like really doing this as a consistent job and building my styling closet, it is, I fear, filled with a lot of shoes and my styling closet things. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with everything. We're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna have to like make it work. I mean, he really loves my taste in, you know, decor and fun things like that. So I think we align very similar with kind of like a fun vintage eclectic taste. So he definitely has a bunch of like picture frames, some of my art actually too, that I loaned him for him to put in his apartment because he didn't have much, that we'll put on our walls and get creative and fun with like the space and stuff. But yeah, we are also very excited to eventually move to our own place that really feels like a home, just the two of us, that we kind of like started from scratch with. And that would ideally, I mean, I would love to live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. That would be like my dream area. So we'll see, maybe one day we can make that happen, and I would absolutely love that. But for now, he's moving in here with me, and I'm literally cannot wait. I cannot wait. I just spent the whole weekend with him, and he had left before this, and we were like, what the fuck, like, miss you girl. Like, we get so used to seeing each other every day, like when we spend weekends together, like little trips, and then the fact that we like don't is so sad. I mean, we try to see each other like somewhat frequently, but we'll go like 4 days without seeing each other just because work gets so busy and stuff. So it's just gonna be very nice and like a really cool new chapter for us in our relationship, which will be nice. And we're letting that have its kind of moment. I'm still 24, like, girl, I'm a child. He's 24 as well, but I'm turning 25 in July, so I'm like a little less than a year older than him. And like when people bring up marriage, I'm like, I'm literally 19. Like, it's just so, I know I want to end up with this young man, but I don't see marriage being something that like I'm needing in this moment in time. And I think living together already is such a huge step. So I want that to have its own thing. And like, we want to travel so much, and there's no reason for us to rush into marriage and having a wedding. And when I have a wedding, I want to be able to have everybody I love and all my family come and pay for them to get there and support everybody financially in any way that they would need. And I just want everybody to come and to be accommodated however they need. So like, I want to feel financially like stable enough to be able to do that and throw the party of my dreams. I am not rushing into that whatsoever. And Kieran and I talk about it a lot, and we are very much on the same page. So living together, yes, that is its own era, and we're very excited. Somebody asked me, how do you come up with video ideas? I want to start a YouTube channel. I have no idea what to post. First of all, definitely do it. I'm like the biggest advocate for like, if you want to start a YouTube channel, please, like, God, I wish I did when I first wanted to. I was just so insecure and thought I was gonna get bullied and shat on. And like, fuck it, life's too short. If you wanna do it, do it. Like, especially because you can meet so many people. It's such a cool creative outlet. It's so much fun. I love watching YouTube. It's something I've wanted to do for forever, is have my own channel and community. And I've just looked up to YouTubers and been YouTubing for so long and like making videos and doing hauls since I was like 11. I've just never like posted them, or half the time I wasn't even filming. Like, girl, every time I would shower or whatever, I would like talk about my shampoo. Like, it's just, it's so fun. I love YouTube. It's so much fun. Not even if I'm like promoting a product or like giving a haul, just like talking and making videos. The editing process is so much fun, and like connecting with you all is so cool, and capturing like all these moments in my life is so rewarding. Sometimes this is gonna sound like narcissistic. I hope it doesn't come off this way, but instead of watching a movie, I'll watch like some of my favorite videos back of like, you know, travel vlogs, or like when my family is in my video sharing myself and things that I love with you guys. It's just so cool. So highly, highly, highly recommend making a YouTube channel, even if it's not lifestyle, fashion, whatever. Again, I don't know what your YouTube channel, what the concept you kind of want to do, or what kind of content you want to share. I guess you're saying you don't know what to post either. Maybe like even make a brainstorm doc of like, why do you want to start a channel? Like, what kind of content do you love, or what do you feel like you would maybe like align with, or what you'd have fun filming? Like, what just seems like fun for you? But I think like, because I grew up with YouTube, there were some videos where I was like, oh, that's like a classic. Like, oh, I can't wait to film that kind of video, you know? So like, there was just kind of like videos that were a given, and then to be able to like have all the creative freedom and come up with a fun idea of, my friend styles me for this using only these with questions that you guys sent, or like just like interactive things like that, or creative concepts, or getting inspired by like a specific thing and styling something around that, or going somewhere and showing this favorite thing and vlogging XYZ, or incorporating multiple people and doing like a style. Like, there's just endless possibilities for me. I have so many ideas, but it's just a matter of time and executing them. A lot of things have to be planned like for a while out, if that makes sense. But I would say do some kind of like internal research of like what you love watching, what do you like to do, what would be fun for you to film, and kind of go from there. And start small. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Like, I get a lot of inspiration from like creators that I watch and concepts that I love. A lot of it does derive from like, yeah, just like watching YouTube for forever and knowing what kind of content I love to watch, and then things that inspire me, or ideas that just come about, or you sit down like with your closet, you know, you can go off trends, or you could just come up with ideas, do a brainstorming sesh, go on Pinterest, go through your closet, play like dress up, and just think about things that you'd want to style things for, or events you'd want to go to. Get wild. I don't know, nothing's off limits. It's your channel. So also, if that's intimidating, start small. Don't be afraid to just start small and get the videos out there and get in the groove, and then you could expand from there. But don't think you have to come up with these like amazing creative concepts. I think that's something that I've tripped up on, with just being like, oh, I like, my videos are boring, I need to come up with like new creative ideas every video, like blah blah blah. But sometimes the what's in my bag slays. Sometimes the updated makeup routine and skincare is like super fun, and people are curious about it, and that's stuff that if you're maybe interested in, then other people definitely are too, you know what I mean? Oh my god, what have y'all said? Just wanted to say I got the stuff you said you were wearing as your lip combo, and I wear it every day. Ah! That means literally everything to me. That's so cute. If you're wondering, I wear the Wet n Wild lip liner in 7-Eleven Chestnut as my lip liner. Then I use the House Labs Mocha Matte Lip Crayon, this Vaseline chapstick, to like blend it all together. And then I use the Say Beauty Bounce Lip Gloss in the color Bounce. I love it. I'm wearing it right now. What has been your favorite project you've worked on? This is such a special question. It's like so hard. It's like picking your favorite baby. The first one that popped into my head is French Resistance, but then like, I literally have a tattoo for Rotten Goodbye, which was my first fashion show that I ever styled. It was Ben Doctor's debut show, and it was my first show I've ever styled. I'll put Ben's Instagram here. It's still so incredibly special to me, and if I can't sleep at night and I'm feeling anxious, like I'll literally think about that show. I'm just so proud of it. I'm so proud of how it came out, and the turnout was so incredible, and Feffy produced it, who's so special to me. I went to college with her, and we were just such babies, and seeing what we're able to accomplish now is just so incredible, and everybody worked so hard on that show. Been Dr. Rotten Goodbye, and then French Resistance with Charlotte Rose Benjamin. That was everything. Emma Craft, somebody who I've worked with for forever, and that was something that like was a project, true like creative vision, fully realized with the budget of nothing. Being able to accomplish something like that was so beyond, and the team was so inspiring and incredible, and I just felt so fueled by that. Really made me feel like a stylist, and I could really do this. So those two things are some of my favorites. That's pretty much all the questions that I saved. I feel like it's not enough. I feel like I usually talk to you guys for like 3 hours, and I condense it down to like 35-40 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna end it knowing that I'm ending it because I didn't realize that was like my last question. 3 of my favorite brands right now. Somebody asked for my favorite small brands. I really wanted to shout out Bria. I've been wanting to talk about her for forever, and I should have put her in like my last like my favorite brands video, styling, whatever trends it was. I talked about some of my favorite brands and small brands in the beginning of this video, and I'll link it in the description because those all still stand true. Metamorpho is my favorite brand right now. All in all, it's pinned at the top, okay? And then Bria is absolutely so incredible. I love her pieces. I love her eye. Her SS24 Death of a Cyclist was so incredible. I loved the photos for that. She does upcycle work, which is so incredible. Y'all know I love that. Just like a lot of like cotton elastian tops and like placed with kind of like biker athletic wear mixed with like a really cool funky like feminine silhouette. Really, really good eye for color. She's incredible. No way, is she wearing... Wait, that's actually crazy. I was gonna mention Blondita. I went on to Angela's page and she's literally wearing one of Bria's pieces. That's crazy. Okay, that makes me feel like this was all meant to be. I'm literally addicted to everything she makes. This polka dot set, I can't. It's just too good. Based in LA, she's so talented. Everything she does is so good. I have to talk about my friend Ange. They are so incredible, and their pieces are so beyond. They're based in Canada, but they're coming to New York soon, and I can't wait to see them. And I purchased 2 things from their recent collection, and they're gonna bring them. I got these 2 pieces. Stop, this sailor cap bonnet. No, okay, I'll just put them up on screen. And then the top as well. You guys, how incredible are they? Queer High School, SS24. I just think this collection was so beyond, and like such a reflection of their vision and who they are as an artist, and I just... seeing this collection, I was just speechless. It just like is them in a collection, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Ange. Okay, I think that is it for our Q&A. I will be sitting down and filming that like styling, fashion industry, story, tips, advice, all that goodness. And I will be screenshotting all the relevant questions that you guys had submitted as well for that video. I'll save those, try to answer those then as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to be filming that. Summer is a little crazy town, and I really want to make sure if I'm doing that video, I do it right. Thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting me as always. It genuinely means the world to me. Y'all are literally the best. I'll put my Instagram here again, as well as my TikTok if you want to follow me over there. I'll see you in my next video. Big, big love to you. I hope you have an amazing week. Sending you all my love. Bye, everyone.